Today we're talking about using intercepts. Now, the y-intercept is where a graph crosses the y-axis. In this case, the x-coordinate is always 0. The x-intercept occurs where the graph crosses the x-axis, and here the y-coordinate is, again, always 0. My last two letters got cut off here. So, for instance, if I just want to make a small sketch here, say if this is our grid, and if I draw a line like so on the grid, okay, here's my x-axis and my y-axis. The point where it crosses the x-axis is the y-intercept. I'm just going to abbreviate intercept. And where it crosses the x-axis right here, that's your x-intercept. Okay, again, I'm just going to abbreviate those. Now, finding the x and y intercepts, it's actually a pretty straightforward procedure. To find the x-intercept, or what we're going to do is let y equal 0. So I'm just abbreviating. So we're going to let y equal 0. Let y equal 0. And we're going to solve for x. So let's do that. We're going to plug in 0 in place of y. So we have 5x minus 2 times 0 equals 10. Well, 2 times 0 is just 0. So we have 5x equals 10. Divide each side by 5. And we have x is 2. So our x-intercept is the point, since x is 2, we're going to write that down, comma 0. Our y was 0. Now let's find the y-intercept. So the way we do that is we let x equal 0. And now we're going to solve for y. So we put 0 in place of x. We have 5 times 0 minus 2y equals 10. Well, we know 5 times 0 is just 0. We don't even need that there. So we have negative 2y equals 10. Divide everything by negative 2. And we have y equals negative 5. And we end up with a y-intercept. Well, our x value is 0, so we write down 0, but our y was negative 5. So we have a y-intercept of 0, negative 5. Okay, so those are your x and your y-intercepts. And actually, those are the only 2 points that you need to graph. You don't have to make a table if you don't want to. So, for instance, we want to graph the following using intercepts. Let's start with finding, it doesn't matter which one you find first, let's do the x-intercept. So we're going to let y equal 0. So we have x minus 2 times 0 equals 4. 2 times 0 is just 0. So we end up with x equals 4. And so your x-intercept is the point 4, comma 0. Find the y-intercept. We let x equal 0. So we have 0 minus 2y equals 4. That's just negative 2y equals 4. Divide both sides by negative 2. And we get y equals negative 2. So you have the point 0, comma negative 2 for your y-intercept. So these are the 2 points you have. And you're going to go ahead and graph them. 4, 0. Go to the right 4. 0, negative 2, just go down 2. On the y-axis, draw your line. And put your arrows on the end. And there you have it. I like that better than making a table. It's in the long run, it's up to you which way you prefer. I want you to know all ways of graphing. So I want you to also do this as well as make your tables. But when you're given a choice, it's up to you which way you want to graph this. So let's graph y equals 2x minus 4. If we want to find the x-intercept, we let y equal 0. So we have 0 equals 2x minus 4. We need to solve for x by adding 4 to each side. So we have 4 equals 2x. So we have 4 equals 2x because the other 4's canceled. So we divide each side by 2. 2's cancel and we have x equals 2. So your x-intercept is the point 2, 0. To find your y-intercept, you let x equals 0. So I have y equals 2 times 0 minus 4. So I get y equals negative 4. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 4. So I'm just going to graph those 2 points. Here's 2, 0, 0, negative 4. And connect them. Put your arrows on the ends. So that's a pretty quick way of graphing. Let's move on. It says Trish can run the 200-meter dash in 25 seconds. The function f of x, the f should be on the same line as the x, equals 200 minus 8x, gives the distance remaining to run after x seconds. Graph this function and find the intercepts. What does each intercept represent? Okay, so first of all, let's graph the function with the intercepts. Okay, so we have 200 f of x, and I'm going to, instead of saying f of x, I should leave a little more room than that. Instead of saying f of x, I'm just going to start writing down f of x equals 200 minus 8x. I am going to change it to y. Since we've been talking about y-intercepts, we said f of x and y are interchangeable. So let's start by finding the x-intercept, where we let y equals 0. So we have 0 equals 200 minus 8x. We need to get x alone, so we're going to add 8x to each side. And we get 8x equals 200. We need to divide everything by 8. And we get that x is 25. So our x-intercept is 25, 0. And then now for our y-intercept, we want to let x equals 0. So we have y equals 200 minus 8 times 0. So y is just equal to 200. So that gives us the y-intercept of 0, 200. So we need to graph those points 25, 0 and 0, 200. Now the thing is, we're probably going to have to use a little bit different scale on this. So we may have to go up, say, by 25s, for example. Okay, so to get to 200 on the x-axis. So there'd be 25, 50, 75, 100. And then 125, 150, 175, 200, and so forth. You may choose a different scale if you wish. That's fine. And then going the other way, say if we went by 25s. Here we go. Here's 25, 50. I won't put them all in actually. Let me erase that. So we have 25, 50, 75. Here's 100. If we want to keep going, another 4 spaces will give us 200. So this is actually going to be quite a steep line here. So here, is the point 0, 200. Here is the point 25, 0. Okay, so let's connect those. But now let's talk about what do those things actually represent. We said that X, if you look at the top, stands for the number of seconds. So on the x-axis, we're going to have to say this stands for time in seconds. All right. Now, it says that the function gives the distance remaining to run after x seconds, and that was in meters. So here is your distance remaining to run, and that was in meters, because this was for the 200-meter dash. And now we're asked to interpret those x and y intercepts. What do they represent? Well, this means that there are 200 meters remaining at 0 seconds into the run. Okay, that's your y-intercept. So let's say that. So there are 200 meters remaining. Now that's at 0 seconds into the run. Now, if you're 0 seconds into the run, that's when the race starts. So if we want to put this in more common language, we'll say there are 200 meters remaining when the race starts. All right. Now, that's for the y-intercept. Now, the x-intercept is 25, 0. Now, that's the time in seconds. So that's telling you that at 25 seconds into the race, there are 0 meters left. So in other words, at 25 seconds in, you have finished the race. So we'll say the race is complete at 25 seconds. So that's how we interpret the x and the y-intercept. Thank you very much for joining me today.